My name is Eleanor Hayes, and at 70 years old, I never imagined I'd be starting over. But life has a way of surprising you, especially when you spent decades putting everyone else first. For as long as I can remember, my world revolved around my family. My husband, Robert, and I built our life in a sprawling suburban house on the outskirts of Chicago. It was a four-bedroom colonial with a wraparound porch, a backyard big enough for barbecues and grandchildren's playdates, and walls filled with memories. We raised our only daughter, Sophia, there. She was the light of our lives, smart, ambitious, and always full of energy. Robert passed away 5 years ago from a sudden heart attack. One moment he was laughing at a bad joke over dinner. The next, he was gone. The house felt empty after that, echoing with the ghost of our shared life. I rattled around in it like a pebble in a shoe, too big for one person, but too full of sentiment to let go. Sophia and her husband, Mark, lived about an hour away in a cramped apartment downtown. They had two young kids, Lily and Max, who were the apples of my eye. At first, after Robert's death, Sophia visited often. She'd bring the grandkids over on weekends and we'd bake cookies or play in the yard. Those visits kept me going. But as time passed, things changed. Sophia got a promotion at her marketing job, Mark started his own consulting business, and life got busier for them. The visits dwindled to once a month, then every other month. When they did come, it was rushed. A quick lunch, the kids glued to their tablets, and always a conversation about the house. "Mom, this place is huge for you alone," Sophia would say, her voice laced with concern that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Have you thought about downsizing? It'd be easier to maintain and you could be closer to us." At first, I brushed it off. "I like the space," I'd reply. "It's home." But the comments kept coming. Subtle at first, then more insistent. Mark would chime in. "Property taxes must be killing you, Eleanor. And with the market so hot right now, you could make a killing selling." They'd point out every little flaw. The creaky stairs, the outdated kitchen, the overgrown garden I struggled to keep up with. I started to feel like an intruder in my own home, as if I was holding on to something that wasn't mine anymore. The loneliness crept in slowly. I'd wake up at dawn, make coffee in the same pot Robert and I bought on our honeymoon, and stare out the window at the quiet street. The neighbors were kind, but they had their own lives. I'd volunteer at the local library a few days a week, reading to children or organizing book drives, but it wasn't enough to fill the void. Sophia's calls were brief. "How are you, Mom? Good? Okay, gotta run, the kids have soccer." No questions about my day, no invitations to visit them. I told myself it was normal. Kids grow up, start their own families. But deep down, it hurt. One evening, about a year ago, everything shifted. Sophia and Mark came over unannounced, which was unusual. They said it was to check on me, but I could tell something was off. The kids weren't with them, and Mark carried a folder under his arm. We sat in the living room, the one with the floral wallpaper Robert and I picked out in the 80s. Sophia cleared her throat. "Mom, we've been thinking. Lily and Max are getting bigger, and our apartment is bursting at the seams. We need more space, a yard, extra rooms. This house, it's perfect for a family." I felt a chill. "What are you saying?" Mark leaned forward, all business. "We're proposing you sell it to us. At a fair price, of course. Family discount. You could move into a nice condo nearby, something low maintenance. We'd help with the transition." I stared at them. Sell my home? The place where Sophia took her first steps? Where Robert proposed to me on that very porch? I, I don't know. This is sudden." Sophia patted my hand. "Think about it, Mom. It's for the grandkids. Don't you want them to have what you gave me?" They left soon after, but their words lingered like a bad smell. That night, I couldn't sleep.
I wandered the house, touching the banister Robert carved, the photos on the mantel. Was I being selfish? Clinging to the past while they built their future? The pressure escalated over the next few months. Every visit turned into a sales pitch. Mom, the roof needs repair soon. Do you really want to deal with that? Mark would say. Sophia added emotional layers. Imagine the kids playing in this yard, just like I did. It'd be like passing on a legacy. They even brought real estate listings for condos, circling ones in assisted living communities. These have great amenities, pools, social events. You'd love it. I started doubting myself. Maybe they were right. At 70, did I need all this space? But something nagged at me. The way they avoided eye contact when I asked about visiting me in a new place, or how Mark's family discount still seemed more about a financial advantage than caring for my welfare.